Welcome back to the Helicon studio here at Blockchain World in Abu Dhabi. I'm your host, Natalie Brunell, and I'm pleased to introduce Adam Geri of Hcash and Ola Lind of FTFT, who are going to be discussing with me the future of blockchain technology. First of all, thank you for joining me.
You're most welcome.
Well, let's begin with sort of an introduction of what both of you do and a little bit about the projects you're working on.
Sure, so I'll start with that, I suppose. I'm Adam Geri, I'm the CEO of Hcash. We first started back in 2016 as an idea. We were the first blockchain company out of Australia. We went live in 2017 with the vision of being one of the most technically advanced blockchain companies to date. We specialise mostly in quantum resistance. So it's been a long journey as far as that's concerned. And maybe Ola?
I'm Ola Lind, and I am Managing Director of FTFT Capital. It's a subsidiary of a Nasdaq-listed company, FTFT. We are based in Dubai, and we are involved in a few projects, but one of them is our application, where we have, for the last 5-6 years, all the cryptocurrencies data in our platform, and now we're starting with aggregated trading in January, where we combine most of the exchanges where you can in one place trade wherever you want at that specific moment.
So tell me, why do we need a greener blockchain and how can that be achieved?
Okay, so we've all seen the issues with Bitcoin, right? And with the mining side of it, it takes a lot of power, especially when you start talking about a larger mining farm, something like this. I think that it's super important to start thinking about the environment and which way we can go as far as making it more sustainable. If we're using so much power, then it's not really friendly to the environment. We need to really change that. It's also cost effective, right? So if you're talking about having to spend all this money on electricity, then it's not conducive to being able to make a good profit out of it as well. So there's many benefits to it, whether you're talking about the sustainable side of it or whether you're talking about the profit side of it. So I think that when you start talking about the way that Bitcoin is mined, maybe we should be looking a little bit more at, so the Bitcoin is the POW system, we should be starting to think more along the POS system. Not only just that, we should be looking at other ways of getting the electricity in order to mine. So maybe with the solar powers and other greener initiatives in order to make these farming environments a lot better as far as Bitcoin or any of the other cryptocurrencies are concerned.
And this is where in our company we actually now establishing one of the biggest crypto farms in Paraguay, where we use hydro, we just use water, and we see that as a sustainable way, at least bringing the old places from China and bringing it to this location, because at least it will be one part of going the right step, where it should be and how it should be farmed, and then looking at technologies, how it's going to enhance in the future, because more efficient everything comes and new technologies evolves. We will see, I think, in the next couple of years, a drastic change how and the corporate responsibilities regarding carbon zero and many, many other things.
Yeah, this theme is definitely in the headlines, and of course the Bitcoin proof of work proponents argue that innovation is driving toward greener energy just because that's also cheaper to mine Bitcoin that way. So tell me, how is decentralized data a better way for data to be stored? Is it, and how do you think so?
Well, I believe so, because if you look at what happened last week, when AWS had some shortages in their data centers, and it affected a lot of different industries. By having it decentralized, you will not have these problems anymore. And it will be more efficient, and it will be more greener, in my view, because you're going to use existing nodes around the world in smaller capacities, but more efficient to do these kind of things. So I think a lot of things will change in the next couple of years in this specific area.
The other thing also is when you're talking about storing data on the blockchain, then it's immutable, right? So once you've stored that data, it is there forever. You don't have to worry about the cloud going down, right? When you're talking about cloud systems at the moment, really it's not a decentralized cloud, it is a centralized cloud. So you're relying on major corporations that are running these data systems to be always backing them up. And if the computers are to go down, if the systems are to go down, then you'll lose that data and then it's gone forever. But if you store it on the blockchain, then it's always there. You'll never lose it. You'll always be able to come back and grab it. It doesn't matter how many of these systems go down. It's always on the blockchain forever. It is immutable.
Interesting. Let's take a look at the word cryptocurrency, right? In currency, we think of money, and the three functions of money are obviously medium of exchange, a store of value, and then a unit of account. A lot of Bitcoiners see Bitcoin as a store of value, but people are exchanging it through transactions as well as other crypto. We just heard Elon Musk saying he would accept Doge for merchandise. So curious about crypto as a payment system. Do you believe that the world is ready to adopt crypto as a payment system?
Yes, we are involved in a project where we're actually going from the traditional way of how payment systems are today with the regulated industry, the bank and the existing networks, to actually do a hybrid version in the beginning, because the most important is to be able to have it as the mainstream. The merchants needs to be on board, but if you have all these small merchants that doesn't have the knowledge, but if you can make the transaction and it ends up in their bank account, the same value that they from the day one had in the store when they sold it, doesn't matter in which kind of name or word it is. And then if that happens, you will have an enormous uptake. And you can see it already in Latin America and Africa now. Because the need of it is there. So it's going to be very interesting.
You know, I like to think of this industry as sort of similar to the infancy of the internet, right? And today, most companies are internet companies. They're online businesses. So tell me how blockchain will impact businesses and governments.
Right, so there are many different ways that blockchain will affect governments and the way that they're run. You can see specifically with Abu Dhabi, they're one of the countries that are picking up blockchain to run government on. There's a lot of fantastic parts about it, like if you were to pass data through the blockchain, it saves, like, say you're sending one document to one person in the government, and how many times has somebody said to you, I didn't receive that email? Or, in the other hand, it could be hacked as well. So the internet as it is at the moment, and the email systems and being able to pass data between different branches in government or even in big business or privately, you want that to be secure. You don't want people to know what you're sending, or this email has been leaked to this person, that person. If you do it on the blockchain, then obviously it's going to be far more secure, and the person can't say, oh, I didn't get it, right? So it is verified that the person has received it. The other thing is that it's much more secure. It's not like having a piece of paper or something like that. You've just handed to somebody and they've gone and taken it out and given it to somebody else. So you start talking about it being a lot better for running a company or a government in itself. Yeah.
Let's touch a little bit more on security, because I think everyone knows I'm a big Bitcoin bull, and I think what's amazing about it is this truly decentralized network is so resilient. It's essentially bomb-proof. But some worry about the idea of quantum computing. Could that ever be able to solve some of these problems and essentially crash the network? What do you guys think about that?
No, absolutely, because when you start talking about quantum computers, the quantum computers themselves, that's what they do. I mean, they're able to crack through cryptography very quickly and very easily. So that's one of the main functions of a quantum computer. Now, the way that cryptocurrency is right at this particular second, if it doesn't have quantum resistant algorithms in it, then it becomes a big problem, because these will be the future. You can see that quantum computers are coming. It's not a matter of, are they going to be here they're here. You can look at D-Wave as one of the examples. So they've got a quantum computer, I believe it's at the California University there, and that's what it's doing. It is being able to crack through some huge mathematical problems. One of them that they were able to solve there would have taken a supercomputer 10,000 years to solve, and it was done in 200 seconds. So if you start talking about the cryptography that's behind Bitcoin, not that it's bad cryptography, it's actually very fantastic, but all blockchain will be a threat unless it's got the quantum resistant side of it worked out. And it's not something that can be easily put into a project. A lot of people say, oh, I'll just put it in later on. As we know, once you've already made a blockchain, it's not that easy to change things. You're going to have to hard fork, and it becomes a big problem. You know? The other part of it is that it's not easy to develop these sorts of things. Like, we were able to do it with the project that I'm with, but it's taken us around about 4 years to get it absolutely right, and that was with some of the best cryptography minds in the world. With Monash University was one of them, Dr. Joseph Liu there, and he wrote a thesis back in 2004 that on ring signatures that Monero actually based their coin upon. Now, he's obviously taken that research far superior to what it was developed back then to what it is now. There was a collaboration done with Monash University, the Australian government, and the computer science division of their government, and they were able to complete the most efficient and secure blockchain to date. And that does have the quantum resistant side to it. It's not very simple to do. We went all over the world. We went to Silicon Valley, we went to Switzerland, we went to China to be able to develop these sorts of things. And then it ended up that we were back home in Melbourne, and we were actually able to do it there. So to just say, can we do it? It's not that simple.
But what you're saying is there is or there will be quantum resistant cryptography and potentially new coins that arise that potentially compete with Bitcoin because they would be more secure against a cyber attack like that?
Well, I think that with Bitcoin, eventually they're going to have to bring that side of it into it. There is no doubt. All of them will have to bring it in, whether it's Ethereum or Bitcoin or any of them, that will have to work on it. But it's not a simple problem to fix. Right. And like I said, in order to put it onto their chain, they will have to do a hard fork and redesign everything in order to do that. It's not a simple problem to just fix. So there will have to be a lot of research, and there will be a race for it, without doubt, that technology. Yeah.
Well, luckily we have some time to figure it out. The last Bitcoin won't be mined till 2140. None of us will be around for that.
This is the problem. Like with the quantum computers, we all think about it as, oh, it won't be mainstream for another 5 years or something like this, but that's not the problem. The problem is right now. So, like I said, you've got a big race for these quantum computers at the moment with Honeywell, Rigetti, Microsoft, Google. They're all doing it, and they're pouring billions of dollars into it. And you can't tell me that there wouldn't be bodies out there that are not going to use this for good reasons. Like, they're fantastic for unlocking like they did with the SARS virus took 4 years in order to crack the genome sequence of that. They did it for COVID in a matter of 4 weeks with a quantum computer. So quantum computers are out there. They're actually doing something, and it's right now. And while it's not mainstream, like if you've got, well, when it is mainstream, you'll have quantum computer against quantum computer, and it balances out. It's more of an issue right now, like in the next 5 years, from now till 5 years' time. If somebody gets a hold of one of these computers and uses it for the wrong reason, then everything is at risk. You're talking about governments, you're talking about blockchain, you're talking about big businesses, everything. So,
Right.
you know, if it can be used through the blockchain, and we've got blockchain that is quantum resistant, then we're a lot safer than we are right now.
There are still a lot of problems to solve in the future of blockchain. Thank you so much, Adam, Geri, Ola, Lind. And we are here at the Helicon studio at Blockchain World. I'm Natalie Brunell. Thanks for joining us.